Hi. Let's look at some user interface design principles to get this desired usability into your applications. So, first of all, one of the user interface design principles is to take into account the needs and experience and capability of your users. What experience do they have with similar type of systems? What can they do? What do they know? We need to take these things into account to try to make our user interface suitable for them. And you also have to be aware of people's physical and mental limitations. People have very limited short-term memory, so help them with that. And people make mistakes, so take care of those. Another thing you have to take into account when you design a user interface, that you should not assume that people read the manual. Nobody reads the manual. You should not assume that people have attended the training, and if they did, don't assume that they actually understood or have listened to everything that is being told in the training. And also, they do not have external help readily at hand, so you should also help them with that. So let's look at the most simple design principle, which is called KISS. And it was phrased by Kelly Johnson, and she said, keep it simple, stupid. So this is not the first time that somebody opts that being simple is the best thing to do. I mean, very important people in the history have already said similar things, like for example Albert Einstein, who said that everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. And also Leonardo da Vinci said, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And also Antoine de Saint-Exupéry said that it seems that perfection is reached not when there's nothing left to add, but when there's nothing left to take away, when it's as simple as it can be. So this principle is about keeping it simple. So for example, keeping it simple by being minimal. Minimize concepts, minimize the amount of words, minimize the amount of links a user can click on, and minimize the amount of visuals. Although pictures are nice, don't overdo it. Just those that you need in order to make your point across. So, for example, this is being based on a study done by George Miller. And he says that people have limited capacity for processing information. So, don't overdo it with the information. And then in his study, he indicates then that there's a magical number 7 plus or minus 2, which means that we should keep lists as short as possible. 7 plus or minus 2 items. And we should alphabetize, so that people don't have to look, but they can just look according to one order in the alphabet. Note that the 7 plus minus 2 is not exactly to be applied. It's not that everything on your side should be 7 plus or minus 2. It's just to make clear that you should minimize only what you really need. So another thing we should do with KISS is we should KISS fast. Fast means fast page load. Like less than a second should be our goal. We should have modest use of images and photos. Don't overdo it. Images and photos are nice, but don't do so many because they can make your page load very slowly. We should have a very clear response to user action. The user does not want to wait long to have a reply to what he's been asking for to the system. And we should make sure that we have big versus small screen UI designs. Many people nowadays access web pages on their mobiles. So make sure you have a version to access a web page fast on a mobile device. And we should be automatic. Minimize user effort wherever you can. Help them spell check. Help them look up addresses. Help them autocomplete. And help them with anything you can automatically help them with. So we can support for the user to discover the user interface in a trial and error way while they're using our system. Another principle is that we should KISS reliable. Be consistent. Be consistent with all the concepts and all the words that you use on your page and all the visual elements and all the navigation elements. Make sure that while something is a navigation element, that it's clear that it is. And that not every navigation elements have a different appearance, such that it might not appear to be a navigation element, some hyperlink, but something else. And never lose data. Continuously save data that the user has input in your system. Never lose data of history, such as a user can easily get and see what the history of page navigation is that he or she has done. Might he wants to go back to a previous state. Yeah? So remember this state. And make sure that the user can undo everywhere. Make the user feel reliable when he uses your system. And also, do KISS, keep it simple, with simple URLs, the unified resource locators, which are these addresses of these hyperlinks. We know that people email, they dictate and type URLs. Yeah? Oh, go to this website, www.whatever. So make sure that they're short, because otherwise it will be impossible for people to dictate, write, or type them in. So for example, make them human readable. We see some examples here on the slide. The first one is good, because you see you are on Amazon, you are looking at a book that is called Elements of Style, which is the 4th edition of William Strunk, and some number, which is probably the ISBN. The other links are worse. I mean, we're looking on eBay at some Ferrari, but there's a whole big string of letters that you don't want to dictate to your friend. Yeah? There's another one there, the third one. This one is not good because you can't even see what this is about. There is all kinds of numbers there and all kinds of symbols, but you don't know where this website is going to. So make them human readable and keep them short. Also, keep them stable. Don't change them. Because if people have dictated them and they have sent them to their friends and they have emailed them, then they want to use them again. So don't change them. And finally, hide implementation details. So don't put .php or .asp or .html. Don't put these things. These are implementation details that your user does not want to know of. So these have been some principles of KISS, keep it simple, stupid, for doing user interface design.